Now, our next guest, Eleanor Tomlinson, became a household name when she starred as Demelza in the hit TV show. That's that picture, isn't it, in Poldark? Lovely.
Incredible. But now you can see her in the highly anticipated new series, One Day, based on the best-selling novel by David Nichols.
Yeah, if you don't know it, the story follows a couple called Dexter and Emma as they go their separate ways after university, but for the next 20 years, their lives remained intertwined. Before we chat to Eleanor about her character, Sylvie, let's take a look.
What do you want to be when you're 40?
Am I allowed to say rich? What about you?
I want to do something that actually makes a difference.
Change the world, you mean?
Maybe just my own tiny corner of it.
He's still mates with Dexter. He's doing all right for himself.
Pizza Express would have been fine. After we met, I had a bit of a crush on you. Back in the late 80s, it was all I thought about.
And now? Let's pick up the phone, Emma. We're Dex and M, aren't we?
Imagine one selected day struck out of your life and think how different its course would have been.
Eleanor joins us now. I am in. This looks so good. And you're with a bit of Leo. I mean,
Leo.
It's not a hard job, was it?
Oh, he's just the best, honestly. He's, like, the nicest guy. And, yeah, he made my job very easy.
Was so, did you see White Lotus? He was so good in White Lotus.
Yeah,
amazing.
he's an amazing actor. It's been... White Lotus hadn't come out when we started filming, so to sort of be there with him while that kind of madness happened was just really
great.
great.
Sort of living through that. When you do a show like Poldark and you spent so long doing it and it was such a massive hit, that must have been nice for you to be able to kind of, you know, see that experience and maybe guide him a little bit as well.
I wouldn't say I guided him, but
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
we...
just to have that commonality, I think.
Yeah, no, it's just really special, and he's become one of my best friends as well, so it's just...
Awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of rare sometimes that happens. And
It's
just,
lovely when it happens, though,
yeah,
isn't it?
really, really lovely.
So for people that don't know this story, obviously, it's, like Alison said, it's based on the David Nichols book, this incredible book. And then there's a movie adaptation as well in, I think, 2009. But if people aren't aware of the story, can you just give us a little bit of a background?
So it's basically two people that that meet on their last night of university, and then they go their separate ways, but their lives sort of remain intertwined, and then you see them, it spans 20 years, and it's the different people that come into their lives, but none of them are quite each other.
But you see it as the one, so it's always the 15th of July?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
so
it's St. Stephen's Day.
Right.
Yeah.
And your character comes a little bit later on.
Yes, yeah. From about episode 9 onwards, I come in as his girlfriend and then his wife. And...
But maybe the audiences might not want you to be together with him. Is that
yeah,
right?
I think that's her biggest fault, is that she's just not Emma. So, yeah, nothing I can do about that.
Oh, it's so exciting to see. It's so good.
What's it like to be playing that character? To be playing the character that isn't necessarily the baddie, but, you know, isn't as in love with him as he is with her or so forth? You know, it's sort of...
I really enjoyed it. I think what was great is that in the book you kind of don't really get to know her that much, but in this adaptation, because it was for television, we had so much more time. So the character's really fleshed out a bit more, and I really wanted to make her sort of more real and relatable. I mean, she's still, you know, slightly tricky, and it becomes very clear that she's not the right woman for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really great to have kind of like more to play with the character, with the writing.
How many parts is it?
What, the series in total?
Yeah.
I think it's 15 and 14.
Oh, wow. So there's a big arc there, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's great.
Did you enjoy the fashion, though? Because we go back to the 80s, don't we? And I was an 80s baby. Did you enjoy the fashion?
Loved it. I'm not going to lie, the low-rise jean is terrifying. But it's, yeah, you know, it's... I'm pretty glad that it's... I mean, it's coming back now, isn't it? But I'll be a high-waisted girl, I think.
And it must be lovely when you sit down that first sort of script reading and you look around and, like, we mentioned Leo, but Amber Mod's there as well.
Yeah.
You know, she's has this incredible
sensational
body of work, isn't she? With like, this is going to hurt. Must have been that. You must get that kind of frisk on that first chemistry read or whatever when you sit down. And everyone gets there.
Yeah.
And everyone has their little name behind the table or whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, what's that day like?
That was amazing. There were a couple of days because we actually read through all of the episodes, which is quite rare.
What, on the read-through at the table?
Yeah, we had it over a couple of days. But to just meet them and to see them working together and to sort of know that it was going to be this massive hit and to just watch that nervous little twinkle that they had, and then to see what they've made of it is just... I'm so proud of it. I think it's a really great show.
Yeah, great.
It really is.
Yeah.
And as we know, Poldark, we've got to talk about Poldark because that is what made you, made the Mauser. I didn't realise you're a natural blonde.
Yeah.
And it was your idea to become a redhead.
Yeah, I wanted to make her kind of fiery and, you know...
What made you... Did you want to always be a redhead, or did you just think that character needed it?
Purely just that character. I was kind of thinking about her and how best to get into it, and I really wanted to, you know, change myself up a bit. And so, yeah, I was like, let's go for a redhead.
Oh, you're stuck with it now. I mean,
Yeah, if I went blonde, I'd never work again. Yeah.
And I heard about your accents, though. You're very good with accents, because obviously we've seen Mauser. She's brilliant. Well, I've heard that you're not very good at the Brummie accent. Why is that? And when did you realise that you wasn't any good?
During the Peaky Blinders audition.
Stop it.
Yeah, which was very short, as will this conversation about accents.
Did you not give me... Why did you not give me a call?
I
could have given you some coaching.
I should have done. Yeah, absolutely.
And what was it? Like, were you literally in the audition?
Yeah, and they actually said, oh, you really can't do the accent, can you? I was like, thanks, no.
I'm trying really hard.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah.
And had you done some, like, just kitchen preparation, like listening to...
I had tortured myself just watching Alison Hammond videos the entire time.
People need to do a Brum accent. What would be your advice? What would be your tips?
I mean, do you want me to give you a little bit of a coaching right now?
Yes.
No, the next part could be around the corner.
Okay, I want you to say, I'm just going down the road.
Yeah. If I say that, I will never work
All you're going to say is, I'm just going down the road. Can you say that?
No.
I'm just going down the road.
That is not coaching. That's just us.
You say it first.
This is, I'm coaching
Help me
her.
out.
Yeah.
I'm coaching
I want to
her.
help too. I'm just going down the road.
Just going
to
down.
see Dermot O'Leary.
See Dermot O'Leary.
Absolutely not.
I am actually pushing my Birmingham accent, because I've actually modified my accent a little bit. I'm pushing it a little bit. I'm just going down the road to see Dermot O'Leary.
Good for you. I hope he's well. That's great.
And then we have to talk about Outlaws as
feeling
well.
that you're never going to do that.
Like, it's such a great show, Steve Merchant's Outlaws. It's like, it's really lovely comedy. Lovely to see a different side of you. Also, and everyone thought this during the first series, they got Christopher Walken to be in the show.
I know. Madness. But how amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
And how was he... Because with Walken, you must sit down at lunch and just go... talk, just soak it all up, listen to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, my first lunch with him, I was literally sat there like, oh my gosh, it's Christopher Walken. But I mean, he's so lovely, and he's just so full of these kind of bonkers stories, you know. Suddenly he's doing an impression of Marlon Brando, and he's like the most impersonated actor. Anyway, don't ask me to do Christopher Walken.
In a Birmingham accent.
Yeah. It was wonderful. Just what a great experience to work with him, and just to be a part of Stephen's team.
It's a lovely,
really
she's got a lovely
great.
vibe to that whole show.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, Eleanor, it's wonderful watching your career flourish. It really is. It's so nice. The full series of One Day is available now on Netflix.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Thank you so
Eleanor.
much for joining us.
Thanks.